It's time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, their guests, callers, and advisors on Eye of the Nation are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Eye of the Nation is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Eye of the Nation is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights are reserved.
Hello, welcome to Eye on the Nation. I'm Leland Miller.
I'm Sandy Brown.
And welcome to a new week, eh?
Almost didn't make it to this new week.
I don't even know why you're here.
Listen, I had an incident in the store over the weekend that people keep telling me I need to go and get some money.
Hold on, let's put it into context. This wasn't a mom and pop shop in the inner city. This was a conglomerate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened was I went in the store. My sister and I were grocery shopping, and I saw a cell phone. Well, I was grabbing some corned beef off the shelves, and I saw a cell phone. I gave the cell phone to my sister. I said, "Can you take it to the manager because somebody left this here, and everybody may not be as nice, and they might steal it." So she went.
Right. And you're working on your Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. So she got. Anyway. So when she did that, I just reached, because she was originally getting the corned beef. So since I sent her on an errand, I reached, grabbed the corned beef off of, it was not on a shelf. Now, I don't want to talk about the store, but in this particular store, during the first aisle, it's like...
they cut the boxes, get display box.
Yes.
Okay.
And they had 3 of them piled up on top of each other.
3 display boxes.
Yes. And see, the problem is the first display box is the only one where the average person could reach. So that's the one that I reached for, and I pulled the can out of there, and all of the boxes.
So technically, they had what you call an unsecure load, because technically, those boxes should be able to maintain the weight of the top boxes.
I was playing Jenga in there, and clearly everybody was playing Jenga, and I was the last one. So all of the boxes fell. I got hit in my head. I got hit on my foot, burst my foot open. Yeah, burst my foot open.
I can tell you one thing.
Bled all over the people's store. Let me say this one thing. The manager was really nice. I cannot remember her name.
That don't count for nothing.
She was nice. She was nice. They gave me
in the story.
They gave me a form.
They didn't give you a check?
No, they gave me a form, an accident form I had to fill out.
You mean to go to the public hospital with?
No, it wasn't a public hospital. They had private clinics on it. So they had like 3 or 4 different private clinics I could go to on it. And it would cover my x-ray, my medication, and I think it said first initial visit or
what
something
about pain
like
and
that.
suffering, trauma?
There was no trauma.
There's something in law called a duty of care, which means as a licensed establishment, this licensed establishment has a duty of care in law to ensure that it mitigates liabilities. Let me tell you something. When the corned beef
So you want me to just, when it fell?
You're supposed to immediately fall with the corned beef. I have to teach you these things. There's no way Jesus let a case, two case. Jesus, you see that? You know the last time it was 2 or anything when they nailed his 2 hands to the cross. This is how you know it was Jesus. Jesus let the 2 case of corned beef fall that they stack up on you, hit you in your head. You okay? How many fingers are you holding up? You can't even see.
Could you stop? They were really nice about it though. The
what
manager.
What do you expect?
I did.
Did you faint?
No, I didn't faint.
I have to teach
The only
you
thing that my
everything.
foot was swollen, I must say, because listen, those corned beef dropped
Did you bring
like
that foot
in
here
an
today?
angle. Yeah, I have my foot
Why?
wrapped.
Your foot should still be by the food store. Sanchessa.
I didn't even realize I was hurt until, like, people came. People are nice, and the woman was like, "Oh, you okay?" Somebody who was just
As a matter of
passing by
fact,
in
don't
the
you
store.
just want to tell me right now about the numbness and tingling that you could feel
Now
in
my
your
foot,
foot?
my
that's
foot is
going all
still,
the way up to
my
your
foot
back
is
to your
still,
shoulder?
my foot is still swollen. It's no numbness going all the way up to my shoulder.
You sure?
I had to
And
wrap
that you're
my
beginning to
toe
have
because
slur
I
of
did
speech,
get.
which affects your ability to have income. Yeah, you have to make sure we understand how hurt you are. And I don't think you're understanding the level of hurt you
I just
are.
don't know yet.
Right.
My back hurt in a
And you're
couple of
probably
days.
having
Maybe the whiplash in.
Ostrich-like spasms right at your
Maybe.
base of your neck.
I
can
guess
see it. I can
so.
tell as I look at you.
Yeah.
I could see the spasms kicking in.
Okay, so we'll see how
Write
it goes
all of
today.
this on the paper.
Okay, I will write all of that on the paper when I go. Okay.
Who gets up when the corned beef fall?
I was supposed to fall with it.
Immediately.
Okay. Next time. Next time.
I mean, Jesus give you one chance to be rich.
We'll be back after this. We have a full lineup for you guys today.
Since you won't wake. Since you won't wake, I'm glad you're here to wake.
We'll be back right after this.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Leland Miller.
I'm Sonny Brown.
And Sonny is here apparently having spasms. Did you just have the tissic just now while we were off here? Every now and again, it's involuntary spasm. I got to make sure the paperwork lines up. And so
Okay,
we're
I
not able to
appreciate
detect
that.
what is wrong.
Can we move on
You
from
might be
this?
having a contusion. Would you like some light in your eye?
Anyway, that I can say was definitely an accident, as opposed to the things that happened this weekend that everybody is talking about that we ain't sure what was justified, what was not justified, what was going on, what was not going on.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot, and then it was like back to back. One day, Saturday, I don't know.
It's been a hot week for the police.
The same day when I hurt my foot, I was supposed to actually go to that establishment to meet a friend because it was her birthday.
Good thing you didn't go there.
Well, I couldn't go because of
They
my
was
foot.
using force.
I might have been right there. You see how? And you that place and the corned beef might have saved
So
me.
all that line right up with Jesus? Jesus was trying to keep you from spending all your money in there so that he could bless you.
Who tell you I was spending my money?
Y'all is the same people who go in church and say, anyway you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. And Jesus let this whole 2 case of corned beef drop off the shelf, and you ain't take that.
Anyway, before we get into all of the news that happened this weekend, conveniently located in Balfour Avenue, and I like to say this is not where I was, okay? Before people try to put two and two
they
together.
stacked their corned beef good in there.
Yeah, I was not there, okay? It was not there. But conveniently located on Balfour Avenue and Charles Vincent Street, Balfour Consumer Meat Mart has always fresh meat and produce with great grocery prices and unique items you won't normally find. So they offer 5 different meat packages for every budget, even a 7-day Adventist package. They have clean, organized, and a welcoming shopping environment with friendly and helpful staff, so you can order by phone 544-1515, that's WhatsApp, or give them a call at 328-4702. And of course, there's free shipping to customers on the Family Island. Freshness, value, and service, all at Balfour Consumer Meat Mart. And I want to reiterate again,
This ain't where Jesus was trying to bless you. I do have one other thing that I don't know how we missed last week, right?
What?
Chuck Norris dead. How did we miss that?
Well, they say, he died.
I actually didn't want to mention it Friday because I figured if it was true, he would just beat dead up. Because, like in Walker,
They
Texas
always
Ranger,
say that, yeah.
how he would just beat up everybody. But when he died, you wouldn't believe what came right to my mind. I
What?
couldn't get it. Gal a fly all the way from Paris.
Come
Just to tell me how she afraid
Chuck Norris.
she don't want no man who could fight and kick like this. She
Want
want a man that is
romantic.
romantic. Well.
Why? How you even remember that
I just couldn't
song?
get it on my... They told me Chuck Norris died, and immediately that popped into my head.
Anyway, R.I.P. to Chuck Norris. That's old news now. I thought he was already dead, but it is what it is.
What?
I didn't know.
Why do you think everybody's... You thought Benny Hinn was dead?
I did not know Benny Hinn was still
Can we get a
alive.
list of all the living people, please, for the sake of such as
now he is
Is this
dead.
the contusion happening? I think...
It might be the... I think you're trying to
signs
say
of a concussion are
not
showing up.
contusion.
Let's just make sure we have one of everything. A contusion, a concussion,
a little bit of
minor
everything.
abrasion.
Okay. All right. So there were 2 police-involved shootings that happened over the weekend that took over, I guess, all of the headlines that everybody was talking about. The first incident is the one that occurred outside of a very popular restaurant/bar on West Bay Street. Do we want to talk about it? Play the clip? Do you want to play the clip first?
So let's play the clip that we have.
Okay, we'll play the clip and then
tell them what,
we'll talk about it.
After he opened fire on an employee of a United States-based company, leaving those who witnessed the event lost for words and a business establishment nearby on edge. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details in tonight's top story.
A Pike Corporation employee is dead tonight, shot by an off-duty police officer Saturday evening after investigators say a confrontation outside Plantation Bar and Grill turned deadly. Police confirmed the officer discharged his firearm, striking the man, who later died on scene. Disturbing video from the scene shows the victim lying face down in the roadway, gasping for air, as bystanders looked on. Eyewitness News also observing an individual believed to be the officer pacing nearby in a purple shirt and khaki pants.
No, bro, there ain't no blank, bro. Look at me, bro.
Police say the incident stems from a confrontation that began inside the establishment and escalated outside. Investigators also confirmed the man was shot while inside a vehicle, suffering from a gunshot wound to the upper body.
One of the males in that altercation got into his vehicle. The officer felt that the vehicle was coming at him in a threatening manner. He then fired one shot, fatally wounding the driver of that vehicle.
Questions remain tonight about how the victim ended up outside of that vehicle after the shooting. Police tell us they are, quote, looking into all aspects of the incident. However, some bystanders claim the officer removed the man from the vehicle after the shot was fired. Those claims have not been confirmed by authorities. As for the details of the conflict, how many individuals were involved, and how it all began, police say they are still gathering the facts.
Are you able to say the altercation that ensued was between the victim and the officers, or was it between the victim and other patrons of the establishment?
We are right now, Richie, doing our investigation to determine all of the facts in this matter.
Meanwhile, Plantation Bar and Grill issuing a statement apologizing to patrons for any disruption and thanking the public for their patience and understanding. Investigations are ongoing. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
And so a tragic set of circumstances, one where I think nobody wins. And again, one of those situations where literally if all of us had taken 30 seconds, it could be an entirely different story.
So this is what I heard happened inside the establishment.
Sure.
So there were a group of Pike employees, allegedly, let me just throw allegedly everywhere, up, down, and all around in this. A group of Pike employees allegedly got into a verbal altercation with other patrons of the establishment, not the police officer. They were all put out of the establishment, and apparently the police officer allegedly stepped in to quell the situation between the two groups of people because I guess the security that they have there couldn't get everything under control.
Right.
This particular Pike employee hopped into his vehicle.
Which is obviously a service vehicle.
Yes, those big, you know, those big Pike trucks we see everywhere. To allegedly leave is what I was told.
Okay.
The officer who was outside at the time
Received the threat.
Saw him hopping in his vehicle as some sort of threat.
Right.
And shot him while he was inside the vehicle.
Well,
and unfortunately,
there's so many moving pieces there, right? And it's because, again, the law only considers the circumstances of the case. And so, is a vehicle a deadly weapon? It could be, but then you would have to prove intention.
Yes.
It is a single lane road with one exit point, so to suggest that he was coming in your direction, it may be moot. The question would then become, what in the officer's assessment did he calculate as the threat? And being in the vehicle alone, I don't know if that meets the threshold.
No, and apparently the people that were there who did speak with, you know, news people on the side who didn't want to be on camera or on the record were saying that it all just seemed unnecessary. They didn't perceive the threat that the officer would have felt or perceived.
Sure.
However, I think the climate that we have and the mistrust that we have of police officers, that a lot of people probably, even if the officer was right, probably still would have said that the officer was wrong. I think this is...
It's because we've built this culture of hate. It's the same culture of hate that we have against bus drivers, right? So apparently all bus drivers are raping, robbing,
But the problem is when you
speeding,
earn,
right?
when a lot of people that are in your set earn a title, it's very hard for you to kind of stand out from that.
Correct, but I'm saying to you that the same people that will say that that the police officers are excessive, blah, 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 if you check their lives story, they've never had any interaction with the police to justify any of their claims.
Yes.
It is an inculcation. We teach it to every single person that this is these are the talking points. With regards to the threat, luckily or otherwise for the police officer, there is only one person that can calculate when he felt when his life was in danger, and that's him. A court would have to tell him otherwise. Secondly, I agree with you, because not just a police officer, we're not a gun culture. And so anytime there is a use of lethal force, people say all sorts of crazy things. Why ain't shoot a warning shot? Why ain't shoot him in his leg? Why?
But the reason also why people say that, because a lot of people did say that about the warning shot and why he had to shoot to kill, or a lot of people did say that. And this is one thing, and I think I've said this to you before about armed services, period, in this country, is that you are held to a higher standard than the average person.
Agreed.
You go through training. Sani could get mad and Sani could act out because Sani is a civilian.
Sure.
And I'm not trained to, you know, be able to take certain things. But they also said that he was a high-ranking officer.
Right.
Which means that he would have been on the force a very long time.
Right.
And so people would have assumed that he would have handled the matter in a different way.
Sure.
Especially an incident. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't his business because he's an officer, and if an altercation was happening...
Right. He's bound by law to keep the peace. So I get
They
that,
had
and it appears
security
as though
there.
that's what was happening up to a point.
But this is my thing. Once they get put out of the establishment,
His job wouldn't end because once he engages,
but
he
it
engages.
wasn't his job.
No, but it's not his job. So, for instance, what I'm saying to you is, for the security officer, once they are on the road, the security officer's job is ended. The fact that this off-duty police officer involved himself, it's kind of like a first response, right? So, like, if you decide that you want to start giving chest compressions to someone in a car accident because you were the first person on scene, you are now obligated to keep doing chest compressions until a second responder gets here. That is one of the very gray lines in law enforcement, why many law enforcement people take off their uniforms the minute they leave work because they don't want to be implicated. I suspect that the only reason he engaged himself was because, one, I understand he works in the district, therefore the people knows that he's a police officer. But
this will always be my question. And nobody else had any sorts of weapon, right? It seemed as though it was a verbal argument between men.
Sure.
How do we get from that verbal argument to you pulling out your gun or getting your gun? Because I don't know if off-duty senior officers are allowed to carry their guns with them on all times.
Yes.
So did he have it
Senior
with him on all
officers are
times?
armed, yes.
How does it get from that? I don't know. And then the other question was, if you did see it as a threat, and anybody who went through that corner, it is big.
Right.
Right? And if you saw him, if you felt like you couldn't just move out of
And
the
so
way.
again, that's what I'm saying. So the
You know, like there are just so many questions that are unanswered that people are. And then how did he get out of the vehicle onto the floor?
And that's where the water starts to get a bit muddy, right? So you identify the threat, you isolate the threat. Any action beyond that action, unless you claim that you suspect he also. There's no way to justify any steps beyond that step.
There's no.
Up to the point that you squeeze the trigger, though, you can argue that the truck is a lethal force. And that there was no, because it is a very narrow corner, there was no way for me to get out of the way. I already had my, I'm saying this is what you can argue. I already had my service weapon drawn.
Why?
Because this was getting.
It wasn't by any other
Only
witness.
the person with the weapon can determine that until the court does otherwise.
By any other witness, you cannot say that it was. Nobody out there said that it was this big brawl that had to be taken care of. They got into an altercation inside verbally. Two groups of men. They were put out of the establishment. The men started to leave or go or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what happened. This guy hopped in his car to leave and ended up getting shot. So that's where the confusion comes in. See, there were two shootings over the weekend. One was straightforward. I don't think anybody could argue about why what happened, and we'll get to that one after this one. But there are so many question marks.
There are many unconnected dots in this story.
It is.
And so here's what I think, right? I think, you know what, you hear me talk about the use of force continuum all the time. The thing about the use of force continuum is that it escalates, but it should also de-escalate. And so at whatever point, because only you make that determination as the carrier, only you decide at what point your weapon needs to be introduced.
And see, and that is what the problem is, because we give these people these weapons and we expect them, because I would expect before you get to that point that there would be some sort of de-escalation before you try and pull out a gun. Now, we've seen videos where officers have shot people because they had shot and stabbed people. And everybody was like, okay.
Put him down.
I get that. Right? We've even seen a video that went viral maybe a couple of months ago where the guy was in the club.
Like Jack the Ripper.
Yeah. And then the officer ended up shooting him. People were still mad at the officer for that. I don't know how.
It's because we don't have a gun culture. So anytime a gun is used, people have a difficulty.
However, this one is just very,
There are many unconnected dots. What I am saying, though, is the use of force, the force has a use of force policy. I suspect the commissioner will lean on that to determine whether or not the force was excessive. If it was, of course, there are laid out actions that should follow. Once that happens, I suspect the coroner
we'll have to see what happens.
We'll look at it and then, but there are some basic thresholds in the use of force, like when my life is in danger is a determination for me. If I have lethal force, the presentation of that lethal force is a decision I have to make.
Yeah. Well,
if I use that force, that is also a decision I have to make. That also, from the point of engagement, comes with consequences.
Well, we'll have to see what happens with that. The police did say that they were investigating, as well as National Security Minister Wayne Monroe. They spoke to him today as well, because like we said earlier, there were 2 of those police-involved shooting. The second one was with a man was killed with a cutlass. Do we have that clip, or are we just talking about it?
Let's go to the clip.
We have it? Okay.
A male in a vehicle was traveling north on Village Road. That male driver exited his vehicle, armed with a cutlass, came up behind the off-duty officer, hitting the off-duty officer in his back. The off-duty officer pulled out his service-issued firearm and fired shots in the direction of that male driver, fatally wounding him. The male driver is in his late 40s, and the officer was transported to hospital and is presently getting...
And so, it looks as though we have a situation where, one, we have to determine the force, versus this situation where there is a cutlass-wielding man.
Why you want to say it like that? Okay, so this is what I heard happened in this instance.
You don't like cutlass wielding?
It just sounds, I don't know. This is what I heard in that instance.
Sure.
That the, we're going to take a break. We'll come back.
Yeah,
we'll
you
talk about that.
It's hot today. You stay right by your radio. Break the knob off of it. We've got a packed show. There's no need for you to go
Break
anywhere.
the knob off of it.
What else you could do with the knob?
I love that one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back
We'll
right
be
after
right here when you get back.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm David Miller.
I'm Sandy Brown, and I would just like to point out really quickly before we hop back into that story that whoever it is in production that keeps putting this bell on this table, we are going to fight today after the show, and I feel like it's you can.
I just want to make sure, in case Brave ring the bell, I am here to advise the people. See, now you say bell, instantly you make me excited.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, well, let's get back into this because we do have a full show today. So we were talking about, no, you cannot touch it. We were talking about the other police involved shooting.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to what I heard from our sources in the newsroom, that the officer in question was at the event that they were having at Montague.
Sure.
And so was this guy. They got into a verbal altercation at the event.
Okay.
It de-escalated somehow. Everybody went their separate ways.
Sure.
The officer was walking to his car. The victim, if you want to call him a victim, was driving his vehicle, saw the officer, stopped the car in the middle of the road, came out, hit the officer allegedly with the cutlass. The officer then drew his weapon and shot him. The officer is in hospital receiving treatment, and unfortunately, the other person died.
So they went to the beach fest.
Mm-hmm.
The officer was in his personal vehicle.
Yes, plain clothes.
Walking away from beach fest because...
Him and the guy got into an altercation.
Okay.
And he was leaving. They were leaving. It was done. The fight, the verbal altercation was done.
Right.
And the officer was leaving. The guy saw the officer in his car as he was leaving as well, and was like...
Yeah. When Machete Supremo pop
What
up
did you
with
call
this,
him?
Machete Supremo.
I'm not doing that with you today.
Pop up with this cutlass
And so
decided to assault the officer.
So that one was, I think that one is a little bit more straightforward.
Okay. You don't like Machete Supremo?
No, I don't. Because that is still somebody, they're still a victim, still somebody's relative.
But people could have, superhero names.
Anyway, they did ask Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe about both of the incidents today, I think outside of the House of Assembly, and this was what he had to say.
If somebody attacks you with a cutlass, not only the police, but a private citizen has the right to defend themselves. I don't know what the injuries are for the officer. I'm told that he is in hospital with injuries. I'm told that the gentleman in the plantation incident does not have injuries. It will depend on the threat that faces you. It's governed by what is justifiable force set out in the penal code. And so, as I say, the police will investigate. If they find that there's cause to levy criminal charges, they will levy criminal charges, as they did, for instance, against the police officer who shot and killed the young man in Exuma. If there isn't any case for criminal charges, then they forward it on to the court.
So we should get a lapel.
Yeah. And Wayne, if you got in next term, I need you to speak a little louder.
Well, you going to also tell the Prime Minister that?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, what he said was they have to investigate, is what everybody was saying. They have to investigate. He understand the officer in the Pike situation didn't have any injuries. The second officer did have injuries. He's in hospital. If in any of those cases it is found that the officer needs to be charged, that is what is going to happen.
Naturally.
An investigation is taking place.
Sure.
That's essentially what he said.
Yeah.
So like we say, we'll have to wait and see what comes out of both of those cases.
Yeah. And what I think is obvious here is there are law enforcement officers among us that are carrying sidearms. have that in your mind when you go to assault somebody, that crimes against a person might be met with force. And so that should be an even greater reason for you to... See, if we were an armed society, right? Like, in countries where they permit
we
carry...
are not an armed society, so I don't want us to go there. But I also
in countries where they permit carry, you see less of this kind of behavior because people assume that force will be visited upon them. And so I'm just advising people that obviously because of whatever policy the police force has had or law enforcement or the ministry, obviously there are people among us that carry lethal force.
Okay.
That should be an even greater encouraging factor for you to want to have
or just don't play with people, that's all.
Yeah, to have situations de-escalated.
Just learn how to walk away, learn how to de-escalate
You and your
situations.
cutlass.
Learn how... all right. We're moving on from this. Police investigating. We'll, I guess, have to wait in the coming days to see what's going on with that.
It was fun to talk about it before it got before the courts as well. Because,
you
once
can't
the courts
after
start
that.
talking about it, you can't talk.
Yeah, obviously.
We beat them.
All right, what's next? So Sebastian has announced that he's stepping down as CEO of Island Luck.
Yeah, and he had hinted to that several months prior.
I think
before
we
the
all knew that was going to happen. So it was a role that he had since co-founding the company 17 years ago. So he is transitioning. He's walking away from that. We all know that he's going into politics.
Sure.
And he's seeking public office. And he just said, I believe that if we bring some of the key principles of successful entrepreneurship to government and embrace modern, innovative solutions, we can create new opportunities. Anyway, he said he's been sitting on the sidelines for too long, and now he wants to contribute, and him running in politics is his way of doing so. I think we all knew that it was going to happen.
I think that statement tells me that he is going to cringe when he runs into a permanent secretary. I can tell you that. People like Sebastian Bastian, I can't wait for them to meet the creature known as the permanent secretary. You see anybody else job have the word permanent in it?
I'll tell you one thing. I've had
plumbers?
few run-in with permanent secretaries, and some have been amazing.
Do you know any permanent carpenters?
Like very wonderful people to work with, and some of them...
No, and you are right. So I've run into people like the Neil Campbells. Neil Campbell.
I ain't calling nobody's name, but there have been some that have been very
in
wonderful.
Spring on a prairie of sunflowers. When you run into him, right? He's high function, low drag. Fine. Oh, but I've run into some people that are not Neil Campbell, right? And then if he somehow gets over the hurdle known as the permanent secretary, do you know who is like? Do you know? You ever played Super Mario?
Where's this going?
I'm trying to help Sebastian Bastian. You ever played Super Mario? Do you know, like, in Super Mario, you have level 1 to 4, and then when you get to level 4,
who is level 4?
You face Bowser in the Bowser Castle.
Who's Bowser to
the
you?
Financial officer. If you, by chance, survive a permanent secretary...
So, Simon...
No, they wait for Simon.
Oh.
You just fight Big Bowser when you get on level 6. You play Super Mario.
Okay.
But them financial financial officers, my friend. Oh, I think he's going to have the time of his life.
Anyway, we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We all know which constituency he's running in. We all know what he's doing in public life right now. I mean, if you don't know, you just have not been paying attention.
What I also think is an interesting set of circumstances, because I watched this floating around in social media, I do feel like at some point they're going to try to make it a man versus woman thing. You know, Leslie Bryce was shackled by the same set of circumstances. The difficulty for her is...
No, let's not talk about that right now. We could talk about that when
I'm just trying to make sure that people see the difference. The difference is Sebastian Bastian isn't accountable or connected to anything. If he resigns, bam, his connection to the number business goes away. She, on the other hand, has a different set of circumstances. She is bound by her connection. And
yeah, we'll talk about that whenever that comes up.
Okay.
It's not come up yet. The only thing the man has done is resign.
Yeah, he's resigned.
Okay.
I'm sad to see him go without an IPO, though. I thought, in my mind, that would be the one thing he would walk away with.
Sorry, I have to answer. The key is in my bag if y'all want to come and get my key. I can't move right now.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, I can't move right now. Anyway, so the F&M convention was on Saturday. Not convention. Why did I say convention? I guess.
It was like a convention.
Not a convention, but the rollout of their slogan, their everything. What were they calling it?
A launch.
The launch.
Campaign launch.
Campaign launch. And I assume their campaign slogan is "We work for you."
Yeah.
Because I've seen that everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, I assume it's "We work for you."
Yeah.
It's nice. Short, simple. I kind of like it.
It's the new, the new trend in marketing is you ought to be able to sell anything in 4 words, right? So it's the people's time, same thing. We work for you, same thing. But I can tell you one thing. That 2-word slogan, that seemed to have already won 3 elections in the Caribbean. I just want to say.
We work for you. It seems pretty decent.
It's workable.
I like it. I don't have any issue with it. I was watching some of the highlights. I must say, I did get injured on Saturday, as we talked about, so I took some pills and I went to sleep. So I did not get to watch the entire convention. I know you did.
It was a big
because you
to-do
would
month.
not stop messaging about it, and I do not understand why. I mean, it was a Saturday night, and I was trying to sleep, and all he wanted to do was talk about the F&M's convention.
Right.
Sorry, not convention, their launch. It seems pretty well attended.
It was.
Everybody seemed to be in high spirits. And see, this is why when you say things like, oh, who's be telling them that the people who was there? Because I felt the energy through the screen.
You did?
I did. It was very energetic. They seemed
vivifying.
You don't think it was energetic?
I thought it was nice. I thought it was a big to-do month. I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't nice. There was some key takeaways for me. I noticed that nobody still electrifies a room of F&Ms like one Hubert Alexander Ingram.
Yes, when he came in there,
I thought he was the leader.
I thought he was the leader.
I thought he was the leader.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the man has been out of public life now for about 15 years minimum.
Okay, let's go to the first clip, and then we'll come right back.
My colleagues have talked about where we stand on immigration. I only wish to say this much. No one who comes into the Bahamas illegally can ever have a pathway of becoming a Bahamian citizen. We will be firm, but we will be humane. There are some persons who are entitled to Bahamian citizenship who have been here for 30 years, and the system has been slow in dealing with the matter. But there have been many who have come in the last 5 years and they got straight because of who they know. It is not right. It is not fair. We will fix the broken system and we will remove those that have corrupted it. The Prime Minister thinks that our national identity being used is an isolated case. It took less than a week to prove that he was dead wrong. That far too many people have passports they shouldn't have, NIB cards they should not have, obtained birth certificates from the registrar that they shouldn't have. The F&M will fix that.
Yep, and so I think it's interesting the claim that he's made. While I agree it wasn't an isolated incident, it certainly wasn't as exacerbated as he had originally claimed in Parliament.
I'll say this, listening to several of those speeches, including the one from Pintard, I will say they have been listening and reading social media because each of the speeches hit on a point that people were complaining about. So they have been paying attention and they have been reading, or maybe they listen to talk shows, not just saying I the Nation, but you know, they should be. And they've been hearing some of the complaints that people have had, and they touched on all of those points. Obviously, what he's talking about is the much to do about nothing that happened with the passport and the fake documents. I did like, however, how he pointed out that it's not what we have been saying on this show, that it's not just the fake passports, because the passports aren't fake.
Right.
They're real.
Yeah.
With fake documents.
Right.
And I do like that he said that an investigation is going to happen to see how they get in these NIB cards and these birth certificates and all of that stuff. So he definitely was paying attention to what people were saying this week, and he's tugging at our heartstrings, trying to make us feel like, okay, he's listening.
I thought he had a really good speech, right? The thing about Michael is he's good on his feet. I think he can actually almost do it extemporaneously. I don't doubt him there. A lot of times, though, my difficulty with him is following the message. Does that make sense? And so he says, well, you know, first of all, it wasn't an isolated incident. And while it is true, it wasn't 300, which was originally claimed.
250.
Right. Then he said, you know, there is a thing where the government is giving out citizenships, but we realize that the state has failed you all by making some of you wait 30 years. And the Progressive Liberal Party has said the same thing, that we've got to do something about this backlog.
Because immigration is a thin line that you have to walk very carefully.
Right.
And they do not want to segregate a large portion of the people who may vote for them, which are the people who would be affected if they have a stronger immigration stance. But they also can't piss the people off who have an issue with immigration.
I agree.
And so what he's doing is walking that fine line. He's saying two things at once.
Precisely. And that's my difficulty is, do you know that you can agree with what someone is doing while disagreeing with how they are doing it?
Well,
and when he speaks about the immigration policy, or when they speak about the immigration policy, it sounds like it's a nation for sale. They're giving away citizenships left and right and center. Well, if that is your position, then how do you take this position that we know we take a little long to give all your passport and we can fix that in a human... Because that is exactly what the Progressive Liberal Party is doing.
Because he has to oppose and he has to say things very carefully because he is vying to be the Prime Minister of this country.
Sure.
And so, like I said before, he cannot segregate a big portion of the people that might vote for him, which are people who are either descendants of immigrants who do have their passports and who can vote, but then he also can piss off the Bahamians who like, y'all gotta do something with these people.
Yeah. Who's Haitian, Nation.
Yeah, because you know that's what it. He can't, and I think he did a good job walking that fine line.
Yeah.
He said two things at the same time. And
but if you listen slow enough, it works.
It was a little contradictory, but he did it in a way that it was very politicky of him, very parliamentary.
I also think closing the box is interesting because he said, there's some of you that have waited a long time, and there are some of you that have gotten yours in 5 years. And the truth of the matter is, like, the law doesn't put any encumbrances in place. You know, the law says meet this criteria.
Yeah, but it does take a long time, though.
Agreed.
It does take an exceedingly long time.
But you can't say that. Yes, I agree. But in law and in governance, you cannot create enemies of policy. So you can't say that because I get my passport when I apply for mine in 3 days. I don't know what's taking you 3 weeks. You can't then say, and you'll let Levin get his own in 3 days? Yes. And Levin followed all of the steps.
You know, I just feel like like I said, he was paying attention. Another thing that made me realize that he was paying attention to, and some of the candidates, he also mentioned that the government, a free national movement government, would increase the amount of money, the grants that are given to businesses and entrepreneurs now.
Yeah.
So currently it's $50 million, and he's saying that they're going to do it $100 million to support small and medium-sized enterprises through grants and loans. Something else that Bahamians have been complaining about lately. That's how I say they have been listening. Whoever their person is who put their speeches together for that campaign, they went on social media and they read, or they walked around and they heard the voices of the people, and they came there and they touched on every point, because that was another big issue that people were having. The process of getting business licenses or the funding to start a small business, that was something that they also had an issue with. So now he's saying, the PLP give y'all 50, we're going to give y'all 100 million. Because
Dr. Sands also came up with some huge healthcare promises, like fully funding NHI and also including catastrophic care. Now, I know that he had worked on a catastrophic care plan in the past, right? But of course, that's been 5 years ago. You would have to recrunch the numbers. I think the numbers at that time was somewhere around $460 million.
Well, they say...
Where's the government going to allocate $460 million from?
Well, let's touch back on the businesses for a minute, because Denali Pembaki is also their candidate. She did talk about business licenses and helping people in the business community. Well. So we're going to play that for you guys too.
That the FNL will reform that and business license laws to cut all the red tape, to simplify compliance, and to modernize payment timelines so that businesses can focus on serving customers instead of fighting paperwork. A simpler system means lower costs, better cash flow, and more room to grow.
World-class. They are creative. They are resilient, and they are hungry. What they need is a government that gets out of their way, opens the doors to capital, cuts the red tape, and treats them like they are the economic engine they already are. The F&M, we will unleash Bahamian enterprise by slashing red tape, fixing critical infrastructure, and and investing $100 million directly into the Bahamian entrepreneurs.
And so,
now that was also Lincoln Deal. I just wanted to say that was also Lincoln Deal, who also spoke about the red tape. And it is, let me tell you, if you ever tried to start a small business in this country, it is not the easiest thing to do. People have been talking about that. I brought it up when our Deputy Prime Minister was here, and he was talking about all the advances in businesses. And I was like, look, the people say it's hard. And he acknowledged that. He said, yes, I'm not going to lie, it is difficult, but it is something that we are trying to work on. And if you give us another term, I promise you that we will fix it. Well, now both of them saying they're going to fix it.
Sure.
So we're going to have to see.
So, but again, these issues are simple in explanation, but can sometimes become convoluted because of the many moving pieces, right? So you remember when we tried to reduce the bureaucracy in the passport office?
It got easier, though.
It did. And then we started finding out that people getting passports because there's no rechecking of the documents. So I'm saying to you that we have to walk in lockstep.
No, because I think that we have a problem in this country where we do things in an overarching way instead of doing things at a case-by-case basis.
Sure.
Right? So instead of having one big rule that applies to everyone, you know, if this person has, let's be honest, if they cannot produce certain documents or they have to, okay, their process might be a little bit longer.
Sure.
But this is Sani's 5th time getting her passport, so maybe she shouldn't have to bring her mother's navel string in order to get it. I'm just saying, there are ways that you could make processes less confusing and convoluted. It just seems sometimes when you go into some of these government offices that things just don't make no sense.
I agree with you. All I'm saying to the FNM this time is, while we may not be disagreeing at all with your ideology, I need you all to nail down the methodology.
Well, you know, they can't really say that because you can't really say what you're going to do until you get in there and then you see. And a lot of governments...
But they have former cabinet ministers.
A lot, not on their team.
Darren Enfield reduced the passport wait time. You know, that happened under his watch.
And now they turn it around and saying it was the worst decision ever because that's what the PLP saying.
Right.
Because the FNM did that. Now we have all of these passport issues.
But at least now he's able to know what about the policy concept he had that did not work, and they can go and make the adjustments.
In any event, like I said, they hitting all the right notes.
They are.
They saying all the right things. Yeah. They didn't go up there. I mean, they did. Well, I gonna lie and say they didn't go up there and talk about people. They talked about purpose.
Yeah.
It was going to be a lie. They did both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the worst part of the whole launch was listening to the commentary. I thought the on-stage stuff was fantastic. I think y'all should get new commentators.
I didn't really listen, so I can't say. I have no opinion.
It was awkward. And it was also awkward. Sorry, I watch things differently. You say I have the ADHD. Maybe it's that.
It's not the ADHD. It's ADHD, but continue.
But trying to listen to this commentary while also trying to actively listen to the background. I'm not sure if y'all got that all sorted out. And here's why I say that, right? Because you have to make your message so seamless. And this is the same thing we tell the production team here. Like, only my mummy is prepared to struggle to listen to me. So if the production quality is bad, everyone who is just here because they want somewhere to be will leave and find somewhere else to be. So we have to make smoother switches between that.
Okay.
Well, I also think that the people that you use to commentate might also need a little looking at. But the stage run was pretty decent.
Like I said, I did not watch, so I have no... I only watch highlights.
I'll send them all to you.
I'm okay. Thanks. I got enough. I got enough information.
I like to screen record them, you know.
I got enough information. Another thing that Pintard also promised, or something else that I think that people have been complaining about, is housing, homes, being able to afford homes.
Which I smiled at.
He said that they're going to build at least 5,000 homes for Bahamians. And he will also address not only those housing needs by providing those houses, but also create economic opportunities for contractors, small businesses, and suppliers.
And I thought to myself, are they going to use all of the plans and blueprints from the last housing scheme that they ran?
The man said they're going to build 5,000 houses.
Yeah, and all I want to know is, do they intend to use the blueprint and housing scheme for the last set of houses they built?
Why don't you ask him when you see him? Apparently he's coming on.
I heard that. It's going to be fun.
So
Mikey Runks, come on down.
Mikey Runks?
Yeah. When are you going to be to Blinken? I say, you must be Mikey Runks.
They both apologized for that, though. I forgot about that. We weren't on air yet. That would have been a good thing to play.
Yeah.
But they also touched on the immigration crisis again. Heather Hunt and some others did that, so we're going to play that for you guys before we move on. Heather Hunt, the last F&M clip.
And every morning, under this government, I am deeply disturbed. Everybody knows that we have a serious problem securing our borders. Everybody except the PLP. This immigration crisis is costing us. It costs us in the hospitals, where resources are stretched by patients who have no documentation and no payment pathway.
What Heather Hunt described at our borders is the result of years of inadequate investment in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, in our Coast Guard capacity, in technology, and in personnel needed to monitor and manage a nation of islands. These are no surprise. They are predictable consequences of a government that treats immigration as a political talking point rather than national security imperative.
The F&M will protect those that have sworn to protect us. That's why we will rebuild our national security infrastructure with more resources for the Defense Force and the police. We will stop the abuse of bail to high-risk individuals to keep them off the streets. And while we respect the independence of the courts, an F&M government will aggressively appeal questionable bail decisions.
Again, the methodology.
They read, they heard, and they promised. We're gonna wrap this up
If you
in a
ain't
big
sure
bow
you
when we
do
come
the
back from the
crime,
break.
The judge might can't stop you from going to jail.
Listen.
That's what he said.
That's not what he. We'll be back. We can finish this when we come back.
You
We'll be
better
back
have
right
money
after
for the
this.
Supreme Court.
That's kind of how it is now, though.
Boy.
You gotta have money for the Supreme Court now.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Yeah, so we're back.
Yeah, so let's just wrap up the end at the F&M, because we do have some other things we're going to talk about. But going back to our...
I want people to know.
Could you let me finish my sentence?
I was just going to give you something to add to your sentence.
No, but you say that after, not while I'm speaking.
Go ahead.
Thank
Give
you.
me a
Now
sentence.
I can't even remember what I was going to say.
Because the
I
piece that
said we were
wanted
going
to
to
say
wrap
was
up,
missing.
and then we were going to go back to our, what did we call it? Our
Versus?
Our verses.
We're going to do it the whole week, I think you said.
Yeah, we're going to finish. We're just going to continue to do them. So I think today we're doing St. James, and if we have some more time, the time is running out on this, we'll do another constituency. So I just wanted to wrap up from the launch. What I think happened is I think they read people's comments and they answered. They made a lot of big promises. Someone in the comments said, if with all these big promises, if they win, VAT surely going back up, because how are we going to pay for it?
Especially if Rick is going to reduce
But
taxes
let's not
on-
speak on Rick. I tried to ignore it, and it's like, you trying to make me mad. He was the only person. I don't understand why they let him speak.
Well, they didn't let Marvin.
And then they let him speak about taxes. What tax you will? Y'all.
You gonna be okay?
No, I just don't understand. I do not understand. Why would y'all let him speak? Let Marvin speak if anything else. He used to be the Minister of National Security. If y'all want some inside looks on the immigration problem and, you know, what's going on with the Defense Force and the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
I also disagreed vehemently with, and I like him, with Johnson.
Oh,
Ellsworth. And it's because I know Ellsworth knows better. And if you just check the news, you will see, like, these aren't things that this ain't like the time when they let Peter Craig into the cabinet and nobody knew, you know, like, you could literally just go right on the news.
Sometimes you could just land a plane.
I'm saying that these things are easily verifiable. The Defense Force just had about 6 arrests last week.
Okay, but they have to say, I think you're looking at it from you've been on the Defense Force, so you kind of know this, or you have all this information.
It was on the news.
What they are doing is, these are what people are complaining about. So we will say, we will do this, and we will do that, and then hope that they forget if we ever get elected.
Okay.
You have to promise the people something. You can't go there and say, well, we can't, because then you won't get voted in. You have to be different from what is there. And being different is saying, this is what we're going to do.
Okay. Even if you could easily...
And so my takeaway, it was a good launch. There was a lot of good fashion.
It was pretty decent.
I had some photos, but, you know, we don't have time to put them up. But there was a lot of good fashion.
I give them a 76%.
Next time, don't let Rick speak. He has nothing to add. Nothing to contribute.
This is
nothing.
Oh boy.
How you could go there and talk what the people need? How you know what we need? And then
He read about it in a
you know what,
pamphlet.
y'all? Yeah, somebody had to tell him. Let the person who told him speak then. How about that?
Are they going to go up and say, this is Rick's speech?
Yeah.
I shall read into the record now Ulrich's speech. Oh boy.
Anyway, before we go to our verses, we do. This man wants some praise or cooking.
I have to.
Or something.
I have to.
So go ahead.
So there were 2 things that happened that are there to be. Squeeze and his wife.
Oh, this is the first one.
Yeah, they got married.
Now, I don't know Squeeze and I don't know his wife.
But it was
But I will say this.
Wasn't that just a beautiful bride and groom?
I need to know why Mom...
Squeeze is right there, just making sure.
How long they was together before they got married?
Listen, love is eternal.
I asked you a question.
Love is eternal.
How long was Squeeze and this lady together?
Eternally. But now...
How long were they together?
They courted for quite a while.
How long were they together?
I can't give you the exact measurement. I don't
20
know.
years?
Maybe. But
30 years? No, because you answered when we weren't on air, and now you're trying to stutter and pretend like you don't know. They were together for more than 30 years.
They had a
Mom, why let this man wait 30 years before y'all get married?
They're beautiful. They're beautiful and married, and it was fantastic.
She looks beautiful. It looks like it was a wonderful day, but you ain't gonna waste. No, someone said it's about time he married her. Everybody noticed 30-something years.
No, but they just, you know, they've built love together, and love is always beautiful. Aren't they just a wonderful bride?
They are. I just, Mom. Congratulations.
Right. So no, it wasn't a renewal of vow. It is a first-time wedding. Okay. And then, of course, you know, I'm very passionate about.
Congratulations to them.
I'm very
I hope
passionate.
they have a wonderful long life
Of course,
together.
they've been happy. They've been happy all along.
So then why do it then? If y'all have been together for 30-some years, but I'm tired living in sin.
They're gonna be happy in white now.
She looks nice in that dress.
She does, and doesn't Squeeze just look quite debonair? It's fantastic.
Squeeze, you waited longer than I was alive.
And so I just want to shout them out. That's all I wanted to do.
All right, congratulations to them.
That's Rudolph Squeeze Smith, and of course his beautiful bouncing bride Hester. And then, of course, you know, I'm interested in these kinds of things, and I have been for 20 years. I saw that there was a circulation going around with a flyer of somebody that needs blood. I don't intend to circulate blood flyers, so you don't need to send them to me.
I want them to redo this
often.
flyer. The flyer looked like she has on angel wings. The first thing I thought was that something had happened.
It's amazing. Your graphic eye must have seen that, because I was like, this is almost like a party flyer. Like, at first I didn't take it seriously, because you know, like how people just have like, I'm a breast cancer survivor and I'm having something for, right, so I was kind of getting,
Anyway,
she needed blood.
And you gave blood.
Yes,
and if anybody else could give blood.
Hold on, you have to let the people see me.
Oh, sorry.
There I am.
Oh, jeez. Do you want a cookie for that?
Do you want to read the shirt?
No.
Isn't it fantastic?
No.
Oh boy.
We appreciate you for giving blood, and anybody else who could give blood. And I guess we got to follow up with our minister, because he did say the other day that they were working towards a 24-hour blood bank.
Yeah, that's whenever they build the hospital, though.
We need to work towards that now, because every other day I feel like I see somebody who needs blood. There's another poster
But
circulating.
they don't mean me.
Another poster circulating with someone. So if you can give blood, give blood. The life you save could be yours.
You want me to?
Or one of your loved ones. All right, I'm ignoring you.
Tomorrow?
Okay, so we're going on to our verses now. So last Friday, we were able to do Kalani. And was it just Kalani? No, we did Kalani, we did Fox Hill.
Yes.
With our verses. And so today we're moving on to St. James, which is technically Kalani, but it's now St. James.
Kalani 2.0.
Which is a new constituency. And we have Owen Wells from the Progressive Liberal Party, Shannon Dawn Cartwright from the Free National Movement, and LaToya Bain from the COI.
Yes.
Shannon Dawn, how are you getting in this area? I guess he's trying to make sure he get in.
He might have missed a turn. He probably tell the GPS, take me to Saint, and then like didn't put the rest.
So he gone from Barnabas to James?
The GPS.
Anyway, so you know what we did last week? We did a deep dive in their social media, tried to see what their message is, trying to see what their campaign strategy is. And this is a brand new constituency that they made up when they cut Kalani in half, trying to take votes away from Dr. Minnis, because the part that he usually in is perceived to be the stronghold of the F&M. So we'll see what happens, but we're going to start with Owen Wells. So we do have a clip from him, so we're going to play one of his clips.
Yeah, he represents people
All
for
is
many
well
years.
with Owen Wells. I kind of like that. Listen, I'm liking these songs.
Yeah.
COI song from last week, still my favorite though. I gotta find that song again. All is well with Owen Wells. So I did take a deep dive into his page. It looked like he's running on like family, that kind of foundation that we used to have way back when, that people say that we've lost. So he had a picture up with him and his beautiful wife and his sons, and he was talking about, you know, bringing back family values and that kind of stuff. So that seems as though what he's running on. His page is not as exciting. I mean, he does have photos of him doing walkabouts in the community, which is good. There are lots of updates here. So if you ever want to know what is going on, you can go on Owen's Wells. So his page is called Owen Wells for St. James. Because a lot of them created official pages that are separate from their page. So it does have a lot of updates on it, things that he's been doing. I mean, they have a flyer and a video for pretty much every major holiday that's been going on, Mother's Day, Easter. They have the official song, All Is Well with Owen Wells, if y'all want to download it on your phone. But, you know, he also has a legal aid clinic that he's offering with free legal services. I need to go and find out what I could do about my foot.
Yeah, boy, you can't win, because that would mean you need to move to the next end of the line. so if you try to move him for Charlotte, that line too far.
I can't go nowhere, though.
Yeah, you kind of stuck in the middle.
Yeah, so he does have his plans here, so I can't say this. You can go on his page and find out what he plans on doing. He's lined off, he's outlined what he plans to do for security to help with that. I mean, every day it looks like it's been updated. It's just not as
interactive.
Fun. I would say
as stuff.
Yeah, as some of the other pages. But it is well updated.
Yeah,
I will say that. You can find out any information that you need to find out what's going on.
And I trust that as people like, click, and share, there will be a bit more interaction with the page, which will, as a consequence, cause there to be more stuff. And as the political, throttles begin to push, you might also see that, it ramps up his social media interaction, etc.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it seems like his thing is, because even under his thing it says husband, dad, attorney. So, I think that's what
Christian.
I guess that's you don't need to say that.
They say husband, dad, attorney, Anglican. They like.
But he is a very well-known attorney, very popular attorney. Did very well. I think we had him in our fake cabinet. Didn't Chatty have him in our fake cabinet?
I think he was in there.
Yeah, I can't remember what we gave him, but he was in our well, not we, what Chatty gave him, but he was in our fake cabinet. We do have another video of him bringing light to Munnings Drive. Can we see that?
Stand on business and it ain't hard to tell. Come let me tell you a little bit about Owen Wells. Cause if all is well, that ends well. We go with the PLP and Owen Wells. Cause if all is well, that ends well. We go with the PLP and Owen Wells. Big Wells energy, big Wells energy, big Wells energy, big Wells energy. That's my nominee.
I like it. All is well with Owen Wells. I think y'all doing well with these campaign songs. But it seems as though this is his first run in politics. He seemed like he knows what he's doing.
But I think he's always been a battleground person, though. So while this is his first run of the gamut at Frontline, I think he has spent countless amount of hours in war rooms, etc. Strategizing campaigns, and so I guess when you take a player like him and put him on the battlefield, it's easy for him to see the lay of the land and know what to do.
And I just would like to see something that I think a lot of our attorneys lack in showing people is just a little bit more of his personality. He seems like he knows what he's doing, but I would just like to know who Owen Wells is outside of being a husband and a father.
He's naturally a stoic person, though. Like if you've ever...
Yeah, that's fine. But when you offer yourself to public life, you have to kind of show some people your personality sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Everything else seems to be wonderful. His social media page is populated. You could look like you could find him. He looked like he's available. Yeah. He's putting in the work.
And I know from my own investigations that he spends a considerable amount of time right at the borderline of his constituency. Yeah. So that's just I know that as my in my capacity as a watering hole ambassador, that he lines the perimeter of the constituency.
Yeah, honestly, if you go to his page, anybody who's in St. James, like we did for the other ones, before y'all get mad at us, we always tell y'all where y'all could go, where y'all could find the information.
Didn't the people say you didn't talk with the COI enough last week?
That's what they say?
And that's what the people tell you.
Oh, well, that was because we couldn't find anything.
Oh boy.
And we did. We played his song. Or you mean the woman?
The woman.
Oh, we couldn't find anything. We did play a couple of clips. I feel like they need to be better at social media. So that's Owen Wells. That's his campaign. It kind of just seems like he's just a man of action. Less words. He doesn't have any talky videos.
Right,
a lot of people have the this is what I'm doing, or
no.
He ain't doing that. He'd say, you need the light?
Yeah.
Here's the light.
No slapping up. Light.
You need the
pavement.
Here's the
Where
pave.
you keep getting all this asphalt from?
Listen, this is the most asphalt this
we
country
ain't had
I've ever
asphalt in
seen.
this country in 4 years, magically.
That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah.
he seems to be a man of action. So I think he'd make a good representative from what I've seen so far. All right, so that's the PLP's candidate. Now,
Shannon Cartwright.
Now, well, this is not his first rodeo.
Sure.
He is currently, so he doing.
He
anyway.
could actually be considered a political juggernaut at this point.
Juggernaut.
This is third. Yeah, it's his third go at it. He has won, even when his party was blasted out of office. Right? He didn't have a cabinet
But then
portfolio.
you left the area that kept you when everybody else threw you away.
Let me show you all that. He said, let me show you all.
When everyone else threw the F&M away because they was mad at Menace, Barnabas kept you.
He survived the blast.
And now you're telling St. Barnabas, well, hey, it was a good run.
Yeah. I so good at winning over there.
Let me
show
over
them
there.
they can't beat me over here.
All right. Well, we do have videos of him as well campaigning, so let's see what he's doing in the constituency.
Over the past few weeks, we've been meeting with constituents all over the constituency of St. James, all of the different communities. It's a very diverse constituency. This continues to be about people. This is not about politics, this is about people. And doing all that I can as the Member of Parliament for St. James to uplift the people of St. James, to listen to their concerns, to find out what are their dreams and aspirations, and what I can do as a Member of Parliament to help those dreams and aspirations be fulfilled, along with the larger issues that are of deep concern to people all across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We look forward to meeting those who we have not met as yet. Again, this is fundamentally about people and service.
So it's a People's Senate campaign, he says.
Yes, and that's what I was saying. If you see the difference between what Owen is doing, what he's doing,
sure.
He doesn't have Owen don't have the videos with him talking and doing all that. He has the videos with you want light, see the light.
Yeah.
You want
pavement,
see the pave.
Yeah.
But Shannon Dunn seems like he's doing more. I'm listening to the people. I'm not saying that that's not what Owen isn't doing, but they seem to have two different types of campaign styles.
Now, here's the question, right? I know they're both Saint seats, right? But does that people-to-people campaign work better in St. Barnabas than it would inside of St. James? Because, you know, Dr.
We're not
Dr.
getting
MacGyver,
into St. Barnabas right now.
No, I'm saying Dr. MacGyver pointed out something interestingly when she talked about canvassing Kalani that, hey, I couldn't even get to some of these people to give them no information because they're driving their gate and that's the end of that. So that people-to-people campaign in a St. James may actually put him behind in the race because he may can't get to people because the people behind the gate.
Well, I get what you're saying. What works for some constituencies won't work for others. But I guess we'll have to see. As it relates to his Facebook page, it's called F&M St. James, so you can't find, he don't have it under his name.
Sure. He should actually just put his name in a bracket. That way when you search it, it'll still come up.
It doesn't.
That's a free piece of advice, Shannon. No, you don't need to pay me for that.
And I think they just opened, it looks like, if you go on his page, it's not as, they have pictures of him doing walkabouts, pictures of him appearing on shows and talking to people. So it does look like his campaign style is to walk, shake hands, talk to people, and listen to people. That's what it looks like it is here from his page. But
how will that benefit him in Serenity? How will it benefit him at Life at Keygate? How would it benefit? It's just, he's going to have to come up with a plan that touch and feel politics again may cause him to lose some ground, or at least have people suggest to him that, we don't know your plan, not because you haven't tried to get your plan, but because we simply haven't been able, you haven't figured out how to get the message to us.
Well, he has, if you go scroll down his page, he does have a plan. What is our plan for St. James? I'm just going to quickly go through it.
Sure.
Safety and security, building the community, bringing people together through local community initiatives, improving roads, drainage, utilities, youth development, and business alliance. So he has a plan. You can read it. It looks like he has it in a little pamphlet, so maybe they're giving it away. But his page is also not very exciting. I don't know. It just looked normal. I don't know. We do have a video though of a St. Barnabas resident endorsing him for St. James.
All right, let's see that.
All right, I'm curious.
He's a kind-hearted man. It isn't one word, but he's very kind and caring. And if I must say, an honest person, if he can do whatever he can do for the constituents, he would do his best. He's one of the best that they have, I would say that. And I would also say that Mr. Cartwright doesn't just do for St. Barnabas constituents. All over, anybody comes, he will try and help anyone, don't care where they're from, because he cares for people. He have the people interest at heart, and that's one of the important things that we need to look out for. And I would say too, to the people of St. James, they're getting a gem. Trust me.
Me, personally, I would want to keep my gem.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm being selfish, but I would be
Your
like...
gem or your jam?
My gem. She said
I know people love their jam.
She said he's a gem. So what I'm saying is I would want to keep my gem.
Sure.
That is a St. Barnabas resident that is endorsing him for St. James. I would want to keep him.
Yeah.
Because if he's so great and he did so well, why are you leaving me, sir?
Well, you know...
That's what I would ask, but why you
So
going?
here's the thing, right? He'll probably never give me credit for this, but I prophesied to him 5 years ago that he would be in the leadership of the Free National Movement. If he ever wishes to tell the truth, he could say that I did tell him that. The problem is, I don't know if, even though he has made it, what's that? Even though he's had party success, I'm not sure that the jump to St. James will benefit him as well as sticking with the people of St. Barnabas. Now, I get it, Michael Alcides, you never really want to run against the fellow with the money bag, but...
He's lost.
He has lost before.
Exactly.
He didn't have the money bag, though. He got the money bag now.
He became the minister after he lost.
No,
when he went in the Senate.
So I'm saying now, so he has the money bag.
No, but I'm saying the fact that he lost means that he can lose.
He can lose.
Yes, he
but
lost.
He didn't have the money bag then. He got the money bag
He
now.
lost.
And so there are considerations that because most times contractors need to be mobilized. The last stop is at the Ministry of Finance. And if the fellow in the Ministry of Finance could fast track those contracts, he could do things a
But
little
my thing
faster.
is, you shouldn't have to be concerned about that if you are doing what you are supposed to be doing. If you are such a great man, like that lady said he is, then whoever come in that area can't bother me. You know, my man is take care of me. You could offer me the world. Thank you, but my man is take care of me. No, Fort Charlotte doesn't count because they are both new people to that area.
Okay.
So Fort Charlotte doesn't count. Don't try to do that. If you've been my man and you've been holding me down and you've been doing what you're supposed to do, no man could come in there and give me nothing. And she said he's a great man. So why is he leaving?
He's a gem.
So why is he leaving?
I don't know. I think the move was poorly advised. But again, it is a part of their strategy. All I'm saying is, I'm not sure on a national level that benefits him. Plus, people like to know that you can win in your foothold. You know, that's the thing that has made Glenys Anna Martin who she is. It's what made Lyndon Pindling who he was. It was what made Perry Christie who he was for 47 years.
Fred also before he
right.
lost.
And so like I'm saying, you know, if you're going to make the trek towards a political career, you've got to keep some skin in the game.
Anyway, he seems that they seem to be running two completely different campaigns. Like I said earlier, his is more people-centered. I will listen to you. It's more, I'm going to knock on your door and we're going to sit and have drinks together and we're going to have fun. And Owen seems to be like, what y'all need?
Meet me on the perimeter. I usually am right here.
Yeah.
And you could come and meet me there any given Thursday or Friday or Saturday.
Owen seems as though he's like, you need it done? I can get it done.
Yeah.
I can't promise you I can hang out because I'm a husband and a father, but you wanted the light, I gave you the light.
Right.
You wanted the road, I gave you the road. Right. So they kind of seem to have two different campaign strategies going on there.
I think it's going to be an interesting test case. I think because St. James is new, and so I think from this election cycle on, it will determine the kind of politics that could win in St. James.
In St. James, I agree. Because especially since they run in two completely different campaigns. All right. We still
it's
have
like
one
how
more person.
breadbasket politics doesn't work everywhere.
Yes, I agree. So we do have one more person that's in St. James, Latoya Bain. She is the COI's candidate. She has some clips as well on her page. So we're going to play the first clip. And this is her highlighting that there are no lights in the Serenity area.
Latoya Bain!
Good evening. I am presently in polling division number 3, near Serenity Gated Community on Nelson Road. Constituents are complaining about the light down here. Take a look. Basic infrastructure. Why are we still asking for lighting, better roads. If you are tired of the same old, go out, register, show up, vote. And when you vote for Latoya Bain for St. James. We're gonna fix this. Change isn't coming. Change is here. Let's do this, St. James. Thank you.
That just inspired me, man. That inspired me. Jesus. We are gonna fix this. I just want to make sure everybody ready. I want to make sure everybody ready. Everybody ready? Make sure you tie your shoelaces.
Latoya, love the song.
Could be election in the morning.
Love the song. You know, I love a woman in power. You know, I love me a good strong woman. We can come back. We can finish with Latoya when we come back because we have some more. Latoya's song is nice though. It's a good song. If you ring that bell one more time, anything. Latoya did a good job. It's just little small things here and there.
Yeah.
But we're gonna come back and we're gonna continue this right after the break.
And we are gonna fix this.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Every great idea starts with courage. Every successful business starts with belief.
And every woman deserves the opportunity to turn her vision into reality. The Fox Foundation Women Entrepreneurship Initiative is back, bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever. This year, Give to Gain honors women who gave their very best, their time, their talent, their sacrifice, and their vision to succeed in innovation-driven and emerging industries.
This initiative is about investing in women who are ready to lead, build, and grow. It's about creating a real pathway to success in a new era of business.
This year's program features 2 dynamic panel discussions designed to inspire action at every level. This year also features a distinguished international speaker, bringing global insight, helping to empower women to think bigger and lead boldly.
We're proud to grant over $75,000 in funding to emerging businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs ready to take the next step. If you have an idea, a business, or a dream worth building, now is the time.
Grant applications are open until February 28th. This is more than just an event. It is a powerful networking experience.
Surround yourself with women who means business.
Join us as we give to gain.
Give your best, build what's next, and gain what matters.
time for Quick Draw. Get out your tickets now. We're playing Quick 2, 3, and 4. Good luck!
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
I just want to make sure I keep F&Ms on their toes. F&Ms everywhere. Be ye also ready, for no man know the day nor the hour. Brave Davis.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Sandy Brown.
And I'm Levan Miller.
All right, and we stopped at Latoya Bain. So we saw one video. Latoya Bain is the COI's candidate for St. James. And if you're just joining us, we're doing our verses of St. James.
Sure.
We've already done Owen Wells, who's the PLP's candidate. We've done Shannon Dunn Cartwright, who is the F&M's candidate. And now we're on Latoya Bain.
She did seem sincere. I think that's what I got from her.
Well, one thing. I need Latoya to change the name of her page because I couldn't find it.
Or just add your name in brackets.
I couldn't find it. Her Facebook's page is named for anybody in St. James who want to find her. And I think that you should follow all three and get whatever you need to get from all three.
We should make them send us something
from all
for
three. I just saying for all three.
Because why they ain't tell their people to do that?
What?
Why they ain't telling people to why they need us here?
No, I'm saying that because I'm saying it not just for them. I'm doing it for everybody. No, because I want people to be able to say. No, I don't want people to say, "Oh, I didn't know what they were doing."
I just want the candidates to know that they need better advisors, and if they want to come to Eye on the Nation for advisors, then they should pay us to advise.
You should. And the first thing that I would advise Latoya is to change your name. The Facebook page name changes here. St. James Constituent. I would have never known that. I was looking for Latoya Bain. It took me forever to find the name. Or you could put Latoya Bain
in brackets.
Change his hair.
Right.
So even if I put your name in, I will still find you. It would be very difficult for someone to try and find your page. That's the only little
Unless,
first criticism
of course, they
that I have.
the candidates can stay as the candidates, so they will make sure.
Is that why the F&M did the same thing? They have the F&M own is not Shannon Dunn's name. It's F&M St. James.
Yeah, I have to also credit Shannon Dunn for this though. Shannon Dunn has the most glaring constituency office of them all. You can't miss that thing.
Okay, we on Latoya now. We can give Latoya her time.
Own is. That's what I'm asking.
I'm going down Latoya's page now. It took me a while to find it. Okay, so Latoya seems to have the same video posted
in circulation
and over and over again.
Yes, because consistency over time is the formula to success.
No, post new things, you know.
She just to make sure you ain't miss it.
Okay, so they did have a walkabout. Where they were knocking on doors and stuff. Sure. We have photos of that on her page. The page doesn't have much. Latoya needs to definitely
have a phone number.
Hire someone. Yeah, I would not have put that there. Hire someone to manage her Facebook page. The other two definitely have a leg up on her when it comes to social media and getting information out there. This doesn't even say where the constituency office is. Yeah, there's not much on a page. We do have another clip of her, like a little slideshow of her on the ground campaigning, so we'll show that. No?
Yeah. So
we have to talk through it, okay, because we can't play the music. Okay, so yeah, it's just a slideshow of her and her people walking through the community, knocking on doors.
Sure. What I note about her is, unlike her sister constituency, she is the lone female in this fight against two pretty, I would argue, formidable male candidates.
And that's why I need her to do more.
None less than the deputy leader of the Free National Movement, and of course, someone who is alleged to have come out of the war room of Philip Brave Davis. So he is campaigning for a prime minister, which tells you of his level of campaign experience. And then, of course, the deputy leader of the Free National Movement, who has, I suspect, an entire, if the party is going to push resources, he is among the names and the persons who the party's resources are going to be pushed behind. You follow what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
And so that gives her quite a bit of a hill to climb with regards to having her message broadcast and her name out there, and she's probably going to get a good bit of steam from this show. At least people now know who she is.
You can take it down now.
Yeah.
I
want to
just
tell you
want
all
her to
that
do.
Sonny's foot is hurting because it's dangling because she doesn't have a box because she gave away her box.
My foot is not
And I'm very
dangling.
happy-
My foot is up.
I'm very happy that she's having restless foot syndrome.
No, the bandage that is on my foot from my
Mhm.
accident that you're now making fun of seemed to be coming
But
off.
if you had a box to rest your foot on
My foot is on a
stationary,
box.
you wouldn't have to be having
Anyway,
the bandage fall
the
off.
only criticism that I would have is I just feel like she should just do a little bit more, be more active on social media, let people know where you are, what you're doing, when you're doing it.
Sure.
Owen and Shannon are doing a really pretty good job showing people what they are doing, what they're willing to do. They both have their plans for the constituency on their page. You could read all of that. You can't really find anything on her page. I would also put my name somewhere in the top of the page so people would be able to find me because it did take me a little bit.
My key
to find.
recommendation to her is hire yourself a useful Xennial.
Or just you ask your niece or your nephew.
No. Get somebody
or...
that you pay that way you could fire them. They could be afraid of being fired, and so they could actually do some work, right? But I think all of these are things that a 21-year-old could magically transform
Not
for her
even 20,
overnight.
17, 18,
Yeah, and
honestly.
so you just pay them weekly, give them a device, and you let them have a click fest to help bolster you up. Because you have you seen Shannon Dawn's? You're not going to outmoney these guys.
No,
So
but-
you have to simply take the fight onto a different platform.
Yeah,
That is social media.
Exactly. I just want her to be a little bit more active on social media, post what you're doing, videos,
Pay
talk
for the
to people.
pay for the boosting of posts.
Yes,
that sort of stuff.
Put your name in the post, and then on social media, just have like where the constituency office is. Put your plan there. If you have a plan, even if you don't have as many stuff, you could put things from your party on your page.
It is also
so if your party is doing something, you know,
Sure.
if Lincoln is going live somewhere, you could do that because it will also drive
Algorithm.
to your page.
Right.
You know, just trying to help you out a
But
little
it's
bit
also
because
it may also be wise, Sonny, to get those boosted posts and that sort of stuff in ahead of the announcement of an election date. Because what will happen is the PLP they will vacuum up the algorithm.
it already vacuum up. I
Okay.
cannot come on without
Right.
seeing one of them.
And then literally it wouldn't matter that you're boosting posts because your post boost will be seen at 2 o'clock in the morning when everyone is asleep. And so try to get ahead of the algorithms. That'll help you a whole lot.
Anyway, we gotta open up the phone lines, go to
That's
our
a lot of
comments.
free
Let me read.
advice we give
Yeah, it's a lot of free advice. Helping y'all out. We helping out everybody.
Wow.
Let me read some of the comments. You could give people a number while I get into the comments.
You don't want us to get paid at all. You don't want the people
Pay
to
the
pay for
people
corned
the
beef.
number.
We giving out free advice. 323-777. If I could charge them for that.
No, get them the number.
698-077. We got to get paid.
Mr. Pindart said his government will do the exact thing that this government is doing as it regards to citizenship politics at its fullest. I think you said that exact same thing. Someone say, a lies them a tell. I guess when we played one of the stuff, someone said, you are right, Sonny. They went online, saw what the people cared about, and promised to fix it. What I didn't hear is what they plan, the money plans on coming from. It feels like they think we're slow and won't recognize emotional manipulation. And honestly, it didn't come across as genuine. Most of them were just struggling to read the script off of the teleprompter.
I didn't get that. I think there were, like, I don't know what happened to Ellsworth. He had a couple of trip downs in his speech. But I think Dennerly was smooth. I think Pintard was smooth. I think Rollins was smooth. I think some of them were actually just, it sounded pretty genuine and pretty direct. So the choppiness for me was the commentary. It wasn't the people on the stage.
Yeah. Someone say, God forbid they win. 10% VAT can't handle all these big promises. VAT's going to go up. Someone say, nothing on Rick. Nope.
But would you give more if you thought you could get more? Like if they said we're gonna take VAT to 20%, and then you never have to worry about a hospital ever again as long as you live. Would you take that?
You have to show me before I give you my money, because I've been giving you my money and you haven't done anything.
They're just gonna fleece you. How are you gonna stop them? They're the government.
Someone say Rick gone back to Canada. He might still be here. That was just Saturday. Today's only Monday. He might still be here. Go and where his constituency is.
God knows.
God knows. He might be walking around there somewhere.
Yeah.
My takeaway from the F&M launch, there's nothing new under the sun. I was hoping to hear something new and innovative. These some good promises, but these things we need to know is the how. How are you going to do it? These politicians just say anything and hope it sticks. When they get in power, their minds go blank.
Mm-hmm.
Good day, all. Is that man named Bo? I think this is when we had the picture of the married man. Is his name Bo?
I just know he named Squeeze. Hold on, I can tell you right now. You know, in the inner city, no one actually goes by their actual passport name. So I don't know why they would ask me if his name is Bo. But go on, I'll find his name.
We have calls, so let's go to the calls.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm only calling to say Miles Florida, he's the worst MP in the world. I should never see him again.
Oh, bless the Lord.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And you know that had to come somewhere, because we said nothing about Miles. And she just heard.
Poor brother Miles.
But you know what I love about it is how sweet she said it.
Hello.
I just want to say, I thought she was going to say something nice. I just want y'all to know that Miles Florida is the worst.
Ever again in life.
Miles, whatever you do to that woman, go say sorry.
Oh, boy.
Go say sorry. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
Levon.
Hey, Secretary General.
Yes, sir. Leader, the man, let me be correct.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me. They had a good showing on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm. The mic's slow.
You, if you're familiar with Junkanoo, you ever see a pretty costume, but it can't win?
Okay.
A beautiful costume, but it can't win best costume.
Sure.
Okay? But what I don't know, I didn't sleep. I listened to the whole event.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't hear Marvin Dean's.
No.
Was he there?
I don't recall hearing him either.
He didn't speak.
Oh, you know, I'm trying to find it. If I know all of them didn't speak, but I'm trying to say if he was there.
I don't know if he was there. I know he didn't speak.
I know he might have been like the preacher who's supposed to pray, who ain't never come. Because they ain't never had no praying on.
Oh boy. Maybe they did that before they were on out.
Listen to me. The last Thursday in March.
Mm-hmm.
The last Thursday in March. January, February, March, April, May. The last Thursday in May.
Mm-hmm.
The last Thursday in May.
That's what you calling as the election date?
The last Thursday in May.
All right.
Can't go to June.
We'll take
All
that.
right. All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
And I say May 5th.
Stop. If you ring this bell one more time.
Look at someone pinching me.
I absolutely.
That's assault.
Okay.
Shanta.
Yeah, Shanta.
I am now in fear for my life.
You should be.
You better watch it. You see what is happening when people get in fear for their life? You better watch it.
And you see what's happening when people threaten people? You better watch it. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
I mean, assault right here. Hello.
Good evening. How are you all?
Good. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Good day. How are you?
You have listen to us through the phone, not on your radio.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Ma'am.
Okay, then. I'm calling for the show I'm on?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I can speak now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Good evening. How are you?
I'm wonderfully well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So
I'm fine, thank you. How y'all doing?
Good. So happy to have you.
What's happening? You have a question or a comment? Oh, they hang up on her. you only even get a lady a chance.
Mama trying to hear the TV. What's wrong with
You
you?
only even give.
I'm not doing
Come
that.
on, man. You're gonna give her
Mother,
a chance.
these people are not safe.
Someone say yes. Marvin was there, and
Mother,
they prayed at the end.
Mother, you know it's Joyce Grandboy. Joyce Grandboy would have never do that to you. See what has happened when you grab me in from the church of God?
Someone say, y'all heard Marvin was there and they prayed at the end. Tell that PLP operative to go to the polls.
Okay.
Hi, caller. Welcome to the show.
I mean, that's somebody grab me.
Y'all ain't even wait, man.
Hello.
Hey, Antoine.
Say, Mom, take
good
5
afternoon. How you doing,
business
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay, thank you. Good afternoon, St. Jessica. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And good afternoon to the nation. I had an opportunity to watch the FNM's launch.
I almost thought you was going to say you've been to the FNM event. I was going to ask you if a can of corned beef hit you too.
No, man, I didn't go. I wouldn't go, but I certainly would follow to listen to the platform that they're presenting to the nation.
Sure.
That's the only way to be informed and to be able to have intelligent conversation and dialogue, and or to be able to develop a strategy. Anyone who didn't pay attention to that in the political realm, who considers themselves to be serious about politics in this country, they ain't serious. They're joking, and they're joking.
Sure.
Right? Now, in particular, I wanted to hear what the leader had to say, right? But I presume whatever all of the candidates had to say would formulate their platform. And I must admit, and I would be totally hypocritical not to admit it, because a lot of what they spoke to is what the Progressive Liberal Party's platform was being built on in the 2021 election, right? And so I was impressed by what we were presenting, or what we were stating we would do, right? A lot of which I must also admit we did not do, right? Which leaves someone like me highly disappointed.
Like what? Give me one thing you all didn't do.
I continue to speak about one of the things that I consider critically important. I use your boss as an example, your employer, right? And I don't know if Sonny understood what I was saying, but Sonny conflated what I was saying the last time with his wealth, right? And comparing it to other candidates' wealth, but that's not what I was doing. Similar to Bahamas Striping, you have companies that started small in the country, right? Excellency Sabaz, he wasn't one who started small, right? In terms of his jump off, right? But the government has the opportunity to, through its policy and through its direct conscience, to empower a generation of Bahamians, right? To create wealth for Bahamians, right? Similar to what Sir Lyndon Finland and his generation did. Arthur Hanna and their generation did. Similar to what the first iteration of Hubert Ingram did, right? Create wealth for individuals across the Commonwealth, right? And those individuals would then be empowered to empower persons who are surrounding them. You understand what I'm saying, Lehman?
I hear that. You still didn't tell me what the policy would be, though. So I don't really understand which of the policies.
I just explained to you.
You explained to me what you wanted the outcome to be. I just was trying to figure out if you were able to itemize the policy. But I take the point. That's what I'm saying to you.
Can you hear me, Lehman?
I can hear you clearly.
I explained to you very clearly. We had a plan in place to create a new generation of wealthy Bahamians, multi-millionaires.
Okay. All right. No problem.
All right. Thank you.
I don't think he stated the thing I've been trying to get him to state, which is which policy position didn't accomplish that, which he's saying the PLP said they would, but they didn't. He can't articulate for me the policy. I don't care about what the outcome would be. Which of the, do you want a national lottery? Do you want, you follow what I'm saying? You follow what I'm going on this?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Hi, caller, welcome to the show.
I do this.
So,
hey.
Hi.
Okay. You know, this is the first time I could remember where a national party is trying to establish themselves based on following what the other parties do it. Because it showed to the public, you know, the public don't be able to draw the comparison, right? And if you don't get it right, the distinction is so obvious, you know? Now, when I saw the leader come in so late Saturday night, I thought he was coming in because when he entered, he wanted a triumphant, you know, entry into the place. The man walking there like half of the audience was afraid of him. I gone and sat down. And then his wife introduced him. He went up on the stage. There were no one following him on the stage like we used to, saying, you know, leaders with Ida Raj, people following them, stuff like that.
I didn't even pick that up.
Well, I mean,
it's just culture.
if you're following another party, what another party did, at least you got to try and be better than them.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
so you're saying they got to work on their optics?
When the people do this, that means wrap it up,
I just that was the wrap.
No, when you ask questions, it continues.
Okay.
And she looking at me like it's me.
So he wants the party. I just want to make sure that, because some people know what it is they want, they just don't know the language.
I understand that, but it just seems as though he was saying that the FNM was running on a campaign that the PLP ran on, that there's nothing new.
Right. No. That's Anton. I'm talking about
that's
the gentleman.
That's what he said too.
No. So he's saying that based on when Pintard entered the room, he's used to more fanfare and more.
People are moving away from that too, though. But I mean, you can't really say that because they gave Papa.
I can tell you that when Ingram pulled up, I thought he was the lead. I said Ingram must have been on the convention floor and he didn't tell us it. Oh boy. Hello, caller.
Hi, caller. And does he
How
age?
Are you?
Do you notice they look the same?
Hey, Sonny and Mr. Miller, how are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
We're fine. I was calling just to make a remark in reference to the man that was before this caller was saying that the PLP or somebody needed to implement policies or what for the Bahamian people to create wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say we already have policies in place, and a lot of Bahamians just do not know, or they don't put themselves in areas to get this knowledge. One like me, I'm a millennial. You understand? A lot of policies help my business to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no policies that was created for Sabas to catapult him into this where he is now that we do not have the privilege or are not afforded to.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So I don't like the narrative that people feel as though the government is entitled to create wealth, for individuals. Okay. If you want it hard and bad enough, you're going to go after it.
Yeah, you go for it.
Nothing is going to come in our laps. And if you, as an individual, wait for the government to give you something, you'll never get anything for you or your children.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you with that. I just want to say I don't think that they have to hand it to us. But I think a lot of people are having issues with when they want to get it, the roadblocks that are there for them getting it. And they want that to be a little bit easier.
A lot of roadblocks are there. But are you going to stop with one roadblock? My mommy always told me, if she put me in a cage, I can find my way out. Because whatever is in the front of me, I'm going to climb over it, go around it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't need to get lazy and stagnant if somebody stops you.
I don't disagree with you.
I agree. Everybody won't have that level of tenacity.
Have a wonderful day, too. I will also say, also to her point, is there are a lot of programs and there are a lot of stuff in place that people just don't know. And it's one of the things I told the DPM that I think they need to do a better job letting people know that there are assistance programs out there. Mm-hmm. More information needs to be disseminated. They need to do more on their social media, do more videos of how to apply for certain things, do how-to videos, because you cannot just expect everybody to know or think that everyone has access. So I do think that they could do a little bit better with letting people know whatever programs that they do have, that they are out there.
I also think that one of the things we never factor in, we always talk about the ease of doing business. We very rarely factor in the fear of doing business. And so a lot of times, because liquidity is so difficult to attain, it takes the average person 4 years to save $10,000. And and when I spend my $10,000, it's gone.
Yeah.
And the bank won't remember that I saved $10,000 before in my life. And so, a lot of people are frozen with fear because they suffer from the bird in the hand syndrome, right? I've got this bird in the hand, I'm not letting it go. And so, we've got to teach a culture of investing.
Yeah.
We've also got to make it easier to repent from bad investments for people that aren't rich.
Yeah.
Because many of the rich people don't have to repent for the transgression of bad investment.
Because they have more money.
They simply leave the debt for people behind them to carry. People like you and I, you make one bad $10,000 investment, and they got you blacklisted in the credit bureau for the next 5 years. Yeah?
I do think that we are this generation, which is I kind of like. They're moving away from just giving it to me. It seems as though a lot of people are moving towards wanting entrepreneurship and wanting to be able to work for themselves and make their own money instead of buy me a fridge, give me ham and turkey. They seem to want they seem to want to be able to help themselves. So hopefully that culture of that gimme, I vote this government in because they gimme culture is gone. And that's one thing I can say I've noticed some of the candidates who've been doing a really good job. Sabas has done it. Lincoln Deal in Freetown has done it. Dr. Sands, I think, has done it. They've had like entrepreneurship job fairs to try and help.
I think Penmarky is also on that list.
Like some of them are realizing and listening to what people are saying is like, okay, y'all want to be bosses? Let me help you. Right. And this is how we do it. And I think that's what the next generation of politics should be.
I also think one thing is noticeably missing from the generation of investors who were investing in like the 80s and the 90s, right? I tell people all the time, like, I remember when my daddy had friends, older men, that he could call for $20,000 and they would give it to him. I mean, today,
they don't have that money anymore.
And that's my point. So like young men no longer have access to that. There are no more of those men who made a massive amount of wealth and was comfortable taking a chance on a younger person. Everything that I do today, I don't have personal reactions. I have to, or interactions rather. I have to do all of it with an institution. And the institution has institutionalized rules. And so it makes debt forgiveness more difficult. It makes funding more difficult. And you can't always take the gamble of crowdfunding because you remember the people get money.
Yeah.
But nobody need to forgive them because the money gone and that Sonny died.
Yeah.
The individual doesn't have that luxury. And so for many people, even no matter how easy you make the business, I keep in my $10,000 because at least I show I could count that and it's $10,000.
I agree. I do think that while it's not the government's responsibility to give us handouts, I think we pay enough in taxes and we do enough and we vote y'all in there to make life a little bit easier for us. So I do think that the roadblocks when it comes to opening businesses, the difficulty, the ease of business period in this country is very hard.
I still didn't get my business license.
Foreigners say it, Bahamians say it, big businesses say it, little businesses say it. It's not just a small, it's a problem that I think needs to be
there was
solved.
an exemption that I should have qualified for based on the business I'm in. I can't get the exemption because I can't get the business license. And when they give it to me, they won't say, well, here's the back pay. Nope, you already paid the government. We'll see you later.
It's Sonny using a box. Y'all trapsy.
No, but I using the bell. F&M's everywhere. Be on standby. We'll see y'all again.